championship so close you can taste it.
Oliver Askew has won the Freedom 100.
Side by side. And your new champion, Christian Rasmussen.
On behalf of the Bommarito Automotive Group and Bommarito.com, where 24/7 Price sells cars. Welcome to Worldwide Technology Raceway and the Indy Pro 2000 Series. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the guys on YouTube, and drivers, start your engines!
Nicely done by Bo Bommarito as we are firing engines up now, 250 horsepower behind all of the drivers here, all on the Tatis PM18 chassis, Cooper tires all around. Second rung of this road to Indy. Again, James Rowe starting on the pole alongside Braden Eves. Rowe in the 3, Eves in the 91. Row 2 will have Reese Gold, just 16 years of age, alongside Artem Petrov. Gold in the 55 and Petrov in the 42. Hunter McElroy, keep an eye on the black and white machine of McElroy in the 18. Jack William Miller has been quick in testing. He'll roll off from P6. Row 4, your point leader, Christian Rasmussen. Easy to pick up that white, red, and blue machine in the number 1. Alongside him, Nolan Siegel in that brilliant blue and white car for D-Force Racing. Rasmussen in the number 1 for Jay Howard Driver Development. Again, the field getting set to go. 55 laps of racing for you here for Indy Pro 2000. Second oval of the year for the drivers here in the second rung of the road to Indy. Part of the Carb Night Classic at Lucas Oil Raceway back on the Friday night before the Indianapolis 500. Rasmussen getting the win. The Danish driver showing his speed in that Jay Howard car. And that win really kind of kicked things off for him as well. Really got him on a roll, part of the action as he got started. Coming off a win at St. Petersburg, headed to IMS for the road course, got a victory there as well. Another one in the back end of the triple header on the road course at Indy. Then to be able to keep it rolling into the oval, I think gave Christian Rasmussen so much confidence as the stretch run began. Went to Road America, got involved in an incident early in the race, came back the next day with a win. Started Mid-Ohio off with a victory as well. 6 wins on the season for Christian Rasmussen. 39-point advantage over Braden Eves, but this is a crucial race here for sure. 1.5 points for this race. 30 points on offer for a regular race win. 45 points to win on the oval. Crucial again. A lot of points, a lot of opportunity for a guy like Eves or Reese Gold or Hunter McElroy or Artem Petrov. Anybody behind Rasmussen in the points, good opportunity for them to potentially jump out and get closer for our stretch run. We go to New Jersey Motorsports Park after this. Triple header there, wrap things up the first weekend of October at Mid-Ohio. So for drivers in Indy Pro, the stretch run is upon us, and this oval race at Worldwide Technology Raceway could be a linchpin for a driver trying to make a run at the championship. Field getting set 2 by 2. First 4 rows look good. A little further back, Jacob Abel, not yet jumping into his spot. He should be behind Siegel. Tail the field, getting himself into position. Reese Gold will be the driver who wants to get the early jump, but it is going to be James Rowe Jr. Let's see if he can go from P1, the Irishman for turn 3, Motorsport. Great start. Good jump for Rowe. Green, 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 and Braden Eves tucks right in behind Rowe. Good start. Oh, almost contact there between Jack William Miller. He's trying to pinch to the bottom of the racetrack. Miller almost getting into the side of, I believe, Corey Enders. They're clean through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they come. You can see a big run here for Braden Eves. He's going to go to the inside of Rowe. Rowe's trying to push him down to the bottom of the racetrack. Eves is going to make the move to the bottom. Push it up a little bit. Braden Eves goes to the lead. Big run around the outside of the top side of the racetrack as well for Christian Rasmussen. He's going to go to P5, thinking about a run on Artem Petrov. Make that P4 for Rasmussen. He goes down to the bottom. Rasmussen trying to go to P3. What a lap here for Rasmussen as he jumps on it, taking everybody else by storm. Good launch there for Braden Eves, though. He's out to the lead. Eves got a good jump on Rowe, who still slots into that second spot as the field streams out of 2. Back here into turn number 3, you can see the lead right now. Christian Rasmussen drove around the outside of 3 and 4 when everybody else was low on the bottom, and then got a great run off the corner. Was get by Artem Petrov as well. Matt Rasmussen now looking at it. Both Junko's cars side by side, and here comes Jack William Miller to the bottom and trying to make it 3 wide. He goes through. Manuel Suleiman, I believe, checking out of that one. We were 3 wide into 1. Big run out of the outside of the racetrack as well. 3 wide again further back. Check this out. That is 3 wide. Jacob Abel's right in there. This is tremendous racing deeper back in the field right now as they're 2-3 wide coming out of 2. Eaves, though, still holding that lead coming on the front straightaway here. Rose second, Rasmussen third, McElroy fourth. Once again, I believe that's Siegel looking down the bottom of the racetrack, and indeed he does get through. Abel's got to check up a little bit. Siegel slides a bit higher on the track. You can see Abel down at the bottom. Out of 2. Good fight further back there as well between Corey Anderson, Kiffin, Simpson. Simpson taking the spot that last time by. Hectic racing early on in a 55-lapper. Eaves checking out as the leader. James Rowe Jr. slotting into that second position. Good start for Rasmussen. Started 7th, needed to stop the bleeding on the points. Really capitalized on the opening lap. Everybody else running down the bottom of the racetrack. Very similar to what we saw a couple of years ago with Kyle Kirkwood when he was able to go from the tail of the field and essentially to the lead in 4 laps. Everybody else was fighting and blocking each other down the back straightaway to the inside of the racetrack, to the left side. And Kirkwood just rolled around the top side and gained a ton of positions early. Rowe a little high coming out of turn number 4 that last time. Still has the spot. Good fight now between Jack William Miller and Artem Petrov. Petrov has the 42 down the bottom. He'll take the preferred line coming in. You got to watch out when you tuck back in behind there. You may lose the air off the front of the wing. You got to make sure you stay at least a half a car width up. Petrov now getting a pretty good run here on Reese Gold. Suleiman looking to the inside of the 40 of Miller as well. Jack William Miller now running, I believe, in the 7th position. Petrov now setting his sights to see if he can't reel up on Reese Gold. Shot of the drivers coming out of 4 down the front straightaway. Miller looking to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, driver in the wall. We got 2 drivers in the wall. One's Artem Petrov. Artem Petrov in the wall hard with Jack William Miller, who dove it to the inside of turn number 1. Miller to the bottom of the racetrack. Hard contact with these 2 drivers. The AMR safety crew over quickly. As I think Miller might have overcooked it going to the inside. I would expect Artem Petrov was trying to come back. I had said that he may be trying to keep the high line, that half width up, but I have a feeling that he was coming back down, not knowing that Miller was there. And both those drivers making contact and into the barriers on the outside, into that safer wall on the outside of turn number 1 and 2. Tough one for Artem Petrov, who's definitely the championship fight. He and Jack William Miller falling to the tail of the field. Again, AMR safety crew there quickly checking on our drivers. They're chatting with Artem Petrov. Jack William Miller already out of the car. Artem, of course, making harder contact to the right side of the racetrack as he came in there. So again, the AMR safety crew is there with Artem, making sure he's all right. They're taking that head surround off now, which is a good sign. You can see Artem moving around in the car, and he's actually going to try to work his way out. Man, that is fantastic news for Artem Petrov, folks. Out of a round of applause for Artem as he gets out of the race car. That's going to be a hard contact. They're going to get the belts off of him, help him out a little bit. And again, Miller to the bottom of the racetrack. Artem, of course, potentially turning into the corner. They're going to steady him a little bit as he gets his wits about him after the contact there. Yeah, they're going to get him slowly out. You got to expect those knees and the legs shaking up a little bit in the impact. As you know, drivers jammed in there pretty tightly. Let's have a look at the replay of what happened here. If you look on the big screens, we'll have a look at it. And again, look for Miller going to the bottom of the racetrack. Yeah, Jack William Miller to the bottom. Artem Petrov is coming back down. Miller's all the way down to the very bottom. Petrov right there as well. Petrov's pinching down the bottom as well. Side-by-side contact. And I think that Petrov's car is going to hit flush on the exit. Again, watch them further back here, folks. They're the 5th to 6th cars back. Yeah, looked to me like right front to left rear contact, and then a side impact for Petrov into the wall. Jack William Miller trying to go down the bottom, wasn't quite all the way alongside at that point there, and Petrov was making that move, of course, down to the apex as you would. Contact ensued. And at that point, both drivers just passengers on the trip up the banking. Really good to see Jack William Miller coming out quickly out of the car, and again for Artem Petrov, the AMR safety crew, having to give him a little bit of a hand to get out, but nice to see that for Artem. Very steady driver, Artem Petrov. He doesn't make any mistakes on the racetrack. Has not had a very consistent season. I'm sure our race control will have a really good look at that one. Let's give you another look at it here, even a little bit closer. We're going to zoom in a little bit closer on this. You keep look to the right side of the screen. You'll see them entering into the corner. I have a feeling the contact's already going to be made at this point here as they come through the corner. Here's the 5th place car. Yeah, they're already coming through. And you can see by the inclination of Petrov's car as he went into the corner, right front for Jack William Miller catches the left rear. That sends the car into the counterclockwise spin. And you can see the separation of the two cars as they were coming. Artem's rear end was already kind of breaking loose and coming up. And then, of course, nowhere he was going to go but to the outside of the racetrack. Same went for Jack William Miller. That's just a case of someone trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack and the other driver up top coming down. Spotters doing the best they can to understand and let their drivers know where those are around them, but tough to see an incident like that for those drivers running in 6th and 7th, especially for a driver like Artem Petrov, who was in a championship fight at that point, not that far back in the points. Again, it's had a really good run. Petrov just 56 points back coming into the weekend here. 3 of the last 4 races, 2nd place finishes. He's been on the podium 3 of the last 4 events and would like to have seen that continue. Tough one for Artem. Tough one for Exclusive Autosport as well. They've been strong here. That team continues to lead with Braden Eves up front as we circulate laps here now. So an incident early in this race with Artem Petrov and Jack William Miller. Petrov had just gone by Miller. Miller getting a tow down the front straightaway and throwing it down to the bottom and trying to make that pass stick. Not quite all the way in. Right front to left rear contact. We find ourselves in a yellow period as the AMR safety crew go into work. They'll get that both those cars up on the flatbeds. I'm sure that both drivers will head to the infield care center, and we look forward to hearing positive news out of that. Good to see both those drivers come out of the cars, as we said. Let's reset the deck for you. Braden Eves with the lead in the number 91, the driver out of New Albany, Ohio. Pole sitter James Rowe got the lead early. Eves went by on the opening circuit and ducked his way to the bottom of the track. So Eves goes to the lead. Rowe 2nd. Christian Rasmussen up to 3rd. Tremendous start for him. Hunter McElroy 4th. Reese Gold in 5th. Manuel Suleiman 6th. Nolan Siegel 7th. Jacob Abel in 8th. Kiffin Simpson 9th. Wyatt Prokachik in 10th. And Corey Enders rounding out the 11 drivers who remain on the racetrack. Some pretty furious racing mid-pack. I want to say about 7th, 8th, and 9th on back. Suleiman, Siegel, Abel. Jack William Miller was part of that for a while as well. That was the fight just in front as Abel was getting reeled in a bit there at that point by Manuel Suleiman. They had got into the fight. He was closing up as well. Petrov had set his sights on Reese Gold. You hate to see an incident like that so early in the race as well. A long way to go. You want to see these drivers kind of take care of each other, take care of the tires, then really go to work late in the run. Braden Eves, as they run on the track right now, I want to say it's about 26 points back. He would make up 13 points with Rasmussen running in 3rd. Christian Rasmussen, what a jump early. Took advantage, and I'm sure that he watched the video of Kyle Kirkwood here a couple of years ago, and Kirkwood had to start at the tail of the field after an issue in qualifying. Got a good jump early, kind of took his time in the opening lap while things shook down. Everybody else blocking big time to the bottom of the racetrack, and literally Kirkwood just went around the high side of 1 and 2, got a couple drivers down the back straightaway, high side again in 3 and 4. Somehow got 2 more spots in the front straightaway, and literally by the time I did the driver introduction on pit lane, by the time I was able to get back up here into the tower, 4 laps were down, and he was already into the lead. An incredible run. And I'm sure that Christian Rasmussen took the opportunity to watch that, because as everybody fought to the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4, he just shot around the outside, carried so much more entry speed into 3. I want to say he got at least 2 cars there, and then was able to get a better run from the outside and slip past Artem Petrov as well coming out of 4. find himself up in P3, put the fight on to James Rowe a little bit, but then settle into third. This yellow flag will set the reset button for Rasmussen, for McElroy, for Gold. Give an opportunity for James Rowe to potentially take the fight back to Braden Eves. When you get a heavy impact like that up in turn number 1 and 2, or any of the corners, of course, here at Worldwide Technology Raceway, it's going to make a bit of a mess. You get the gearbox fluid, engine oil, whatever it may be, finding its way out of the engines and out of the gearboxes and onto the racetrack. And you see the safety crew doing a great job. And when you pick the cars up, you got to get that cloth underneath the diaper, if you will, underneath the car when you pick it up so it doesn't pour more fluid all over the racetrack. So doing a good job so far. The machine of Jack William Miller now onto the flatbed. Yeah, you can see right there getting a lot of work done trying to get all that fluid around the machine of Artem Petrov. And it looks to me, yeah, you can see the car's essentially broken in half with the contact. That's going to be an expensive hit for Artem Petrov for sure as well. They're doing their work they can to get the diaper onto it. You can see all the speedy dry they've got down onto the track there as well. That engine and gearbox and all the rear assembly of the car hanging by a thread. They're going to try to see if they can't tow this one in as opposed to put it on a flatbed, because really you'd just be throwing it on a heap on the flatbed. They've got her hooked up pretty good. Key for them is to try to keep that fluid off the racing line, so we don't have to have anything on the racing line. You can see they've done a tremendous job keeping that up above the race line at this point here. Quick action from our AMR IndyCar safety crew. And to be certain, one of the big benefits of our Road to Indy drivers and teams running as part of the NTT IndyCar Series weekends is having access to the AMR safety crew. They know our race cars, they know our drivers, so when they get there, they know where they need to place themselves, and you just see the reaction time. I was literally calling the end of that wreck when the AMR safety crew was kind of already rolling up the hill to get to them. So that kind of quick reaction is a positive for this Road to Indy, no doubt about that. And they were quickly on the scene and getting into the faces of both Jack William Miller and Artem Petrov. All these drivers, second rung of this Road to Indy, battling for a scholarship worth over $750,000. So much up for grabs for the driver to win the championship here in Indy Pro 2000. The scholarship to move to Indy Lights. Our Indy Pro 2000 champion also receiving an IndyCar test at the end of the season. So even though they're a couple steps away from IndyCar, a chance to get behind the wheel of one of these fantastic race cars, and obviously a home where they want to be in a couple of years. Scholarships are one of the biggest things that are part of this Road to Indy. The Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series, the official Formula Car Series for the Road to Indy, offering $75,000 scholarship to their champion of their Formula Car Series. That champion moving up, Eli Navarro, won the championship last year. He's running with D-Force this year and has acquitted himself very well. USF 2000 champion winning a scholarship of over $400,000 to make the jump up into the Indy Pro 2000 category. I mentioned the $750,000 plus for Indy Pro, and of course, Indy Lights champion, $1.25 million towards a 3-run package in the IndyCar Series, including the qualification attempt at the Indianapolis 500. Working lap number 17 now, still 39 to go. 55-lap race, or a 45-minute time limit, so we'll be watching the time as well. Total session time now just over 15 minutes, so still a lot of time to be able to get this race rolling once again. 39 laps remaining. Crew's starting to peel away. The track cleanup team is rolling. Both of those trucks getting themselves away from the accident scene. So after the incident, we get set to go back to racing. You can see they're just blowing some of that safety, speedy drive back up top. Racing line looks clean. They did a really stellar job getting out there quickly and stopping that fluid from rolling down. Field clears the crew in the back. They'll make that left turn down into the pit area, and we should be able to go green here pretty soon. Final AMR safety truck coming down the back straight of turn number 2. I'd expect potentially green next time by. That's still the yellow flag here at start finish from our official flagman Aaron Likens. Maybe one time through the area first, let the drivers have a look at it. Eves will start, single file, restart. Eves at the front, Rowe second. Rasmussen in the 1, McElroy in the 18, Gold in the 55, Suleiman in the 22, Siegel in the 8, Simpson behind Abel in the 51, Simpson in the 21, Prokachik in the 5, and Enders in the 7. Pace car is gone. We're going racing this time by. Braden Eves will set the pace. Does he take it slow coming out of turn number 3 and 4? Does he punch off early? Do you want to slow that draft down to the turn number 1? James Rowe looking to attack as they work the apex of 3 and 4. Braden Eves, the veteran driver, wants to get her straight. Checker flag, or rather green flag flying, and we're rolling. Green, green, green. Eves with a good run, but so does James Rowe. He's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack. Rowe's going to take the lead potentially in turn number 1. Eves is going to go to the top side of the racetrack. Can he hold that grip? He is good on the top, and Eves holds it off. Braden Eves, trusting the top side of the racetrack, rolls it through with those colder tires. So Braden Eves leads him down the back straightaway. Christian Rasmussen powers around the outside of James Rowe Jr., and here comes McElroy as well. Hunter McElroy and Christian Rasmussen go around Rowe as he worked his way down into turn number 3. So move Rasmussen to second, McElroy to third. Braden Eves still leading the way now, though. Gap of about a half a second last time by the stripe. McElroy needed to go to the top side of the racetrack, as did Rasmussen. McElroy now closing up a little bit here on the draft to Christian Rasmussen. Point leader now running P2. In fact, first and second in the points. Flip that. They run second and first, respectively. But Rasmussen trying to see if he can't reel in Braden Eves. Rasmussen qualified 7th, but has a pretty good race car now here, as does Braden Eves, who qualified 2nd. Eves stretching out a little bit coming out of turn 2. Another big run potentially coming here further back. Look at this draft for Hunter McElroy as well. Further back, a good battle here between Jacob Abel and Reese Gold. Gold to the top side of the racetrack, Abel on the bottom, side by side through 3 and 4. Abel getting a better run out of the corner. It looks like Gold checking up a little bit. He's got his teammate Manuel Suleiman right behind him as they come down the front straight. Gold now thinking about holding off his teammate Suleiman. Suleiman actually to the bottom. McElroy closing up front too. The two Juncos Hollinger racing cars running side by side through turn 1 and 2. Tucking back in this time. Virtual identical liveries. Again, side by side. Late move to the bottom of the racetrack. Not able to hold. Topside driver holding on. Exactly the same liveries. We'll have a good look when they come back because they've been dicing for this last lap. It's indeed Suleiman up front, and that's going to give Prokachik a good run. Wyatt Prokachik's going to go by Gold as he got a better run to the top side as well. So Wyatt Prokachik going by Reese Gold. Here comes Kiffin Simpson with a good run on Corey Enders further back. You can see them going side by side. Simpson on the inside. Good experience for all these rookie drivers getting a feel for running this Indy Pro 2000 car, this ultra quick 1.25 mile racetrack. Big run there for Manuel Suleiman on Jacob Abel. Quickly ducks the 22 to the bottom. And you'll see as they come into the screen, yeah, Manuel Suleiman now to the bottom of the racetrack, move him up to P6. Suleiman started in 9th, now into the 6th spot. Field rolling down the back straightaway. Coming now into turns 3 and 4. We'll have a look at that lead for Braden Eves. 0.89 last time by, 0.85 this time by, so almost a full second now for Braden Eves out front. Hunter McElroy trying to close up here on Rasmussen, but they have separated a little bit. It looked to me like Rasmussen was close, or rather Rasmussen was losing the gap between he and McElroy. I talked to Hunter before the race, very happy with the race car. Tried something a little different in qualifying, didn't quite produce the results they wanted, but they liked their race car. McElroy started in 5th, now runs 3rd. Both he and Rasmussen going down the top side of James Rowe Jr. Still having a strong run here in P4 in that TopCon Turn 3 Motorsports machine. Not a lot of head-to-head battles right now, but again, tire wear will be a factor. Just at the halfway point of this race right now. 28 laps will go down soon with 27 to go. Little high run there for James Rowe Jr. coming through turn number 4. We're going to keep an eye on Nolan Siegel trying to reel him in last time by. Rowe's speed 135.6 miles per hour, full mile per hour quicker than, or rather for Nolan Siegel. So the rookie driver here, the USF 2000 pilot, making a debut, a one-off event here in the D-Force Racing Machine, starting to close up potentially for P4. Nolan Siegel having a really strong run. 3rd year in USF 2000 for the driver from Palo Alto, California. Siegel comfortable here in the PM18 Indy Pro car. Lead now down to 0.628. Rasmussen starting to reel in Eves a bit here midway through the race, or is Eves taking care of those tires? That's the battle for the championship as they run on the racetrack right now. It's a 31-point lead, I believe, maybe 32 for Rasmussen. And he is closing on Eves. Yeah, most definitely the leader reeling in into turn 1 and 2. You can see how close it is now, just about 3 or 4 kart lengths. And Rasmussen stepping things up here midway through the race. Big run down the back chute. Does he have enough? Still about 7 or 8 car lengths. They come out at 2. McElroy all by himself now in 3rd. Rowe 4th. Siegel 5th. Keen on this fight up front, though. Braden Eves needs to dig in deep and find a little bit more. This time crossed the line. Just under 4/10 of a second. Now, the key is passing when the cars are so evenly matched is so tough here. Every time Rasmussen is going to get closer, he's going to lose that wing, that air off the front wing, and the car's going to get that air wash. It's going to push up the racetrack. He'll have to battle that understeer. He's got to get a better run out of a corner and get the run to the inside of 1 or the inside of 3. Very close this time coming into turn number 1. Looks to the bottom of the track. Not able to make it stick, and still Eves to the top. But Rasmussen, take a good look to the bottom there. You can be sure the spotters keeping Eves up to date on Rasmussen's current charge. 31 laps in the books, 24 to go. Kiffin Simpson back in 11th continues to push hard to try to find a way around Corey Enders, staying within a couple of car lengths. Eves building up a bit more of a gap this last time by. He'll go down to the bottom of the racetrack trying to break that draft a little bit. Abel, Kachik, Gold, Enders, Simpson out of 2, up to the wall and back down the long back straightaway here. 11-degree banking in turns number 1 and 2, much tighter than 3 and 4. Wider arc, but only 9 degrees of banking in 3 and 4. 2 very different corners here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Second oval race of the year for the drivers in Indy Pro 2000. From here, we head to New Jersey Motorsports Park for a triple header next weekend. Cap it all off in the opening weekend with the season finale in October, opening weekend of October at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Rasmussen continues to push. You see the drivers coming out of turn number 4 here. There's Prokachik, Gold, Enders, Simpson. Leaders again through 3 and 4 rather. Backing onto the front straightaway now. Rasmussen again cutting that gap down. It was 3.5 tenths. A little bit less than that, 0.32 now. Just that mid-corner issue where you're trying to get in there, you're rolling a lot of speed in, you lose that air off the front wing and just don't have that speed through the center of the racetrack, the corner, and you really can't trust on it. Try to get on that throttle. Drivers going from 6th down to 5th in turn number 1 and 2. That's one thing I have not yet mentioned. There is a quick shift as they roll down the straightaway here in 6th. Down into the corner, mid-corner, down into 5th gear. Get that extra torque to power out of the corner. Fire up the RPM. Rolling 5th. Probably about a third of the way down the back straightaway. Grabbing 6th about here. As the leaders back into 3. Good driving with the guys further back in the pack too. Wyatt Prokachik having a strong run, 8th position right now. Qualified at the tail of the field in 13th, but passed a couple of pretty good cars in Reese Gold, who has 4 pole positions and currently sits in 3rd in points. And Corey Enders, who was on the podium here a couple of years ago at Indy Pro 2000, sat on the front row after qualifying. So Enders knows how to get around here. You got to have a good setup here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. The driver's going to be able to do what they can do, but the setup is so crucial on an oval track. Got to have the balance correctly set. 18 laps remaining. Christian Rasmussen with the fastest lap so far, a 139.058 miles per hour. Hunter McElroy just a couple laps to go, turned a 138.839. He's starting to close back up here as well. Let's see if he can slowly inch his way forward. He's back by just 1.4 seconds from Rasmussen. A little side-by-side battle further back going into turn number 1 right now. That's a good fight. That's the very tail of the field. That is Enders, Gold, and Simpson. And Enders high to the top of the racetrack. Gonna pedal it there as he was trying to go to the outside of Reese Gold. There they are, 1, 2, 3 coming down the back chute. Here you see them rolling in here now. Simpson back down to the bottom. Kiffin Simpson looking at the bottom of the racetrack now. Has to give it up. Enders holding that second groove. Sixth and 7th tightening up a little bit as well as the number 51, the Crosley Brands machine of Jacob Abel, trying to put some pressure on Manuel Suleiman. Very evenly matched, back by just 4 tenths. Trying to get that run down the back straight. Leaders now working their way out of 1 and 2, or rather 3 and 4. Into 1 and 2. Gap has been pretty settled. Anywhere between 3 tenths and 4 tenths of a second between Braden Eves and Christian Rasmussen. Both drivers running 138.5 miles per hour last time by. Indy lights back on the racetrack. Green flag set to go at 5:30 this afternoon. We'll do the driver introductions about 20 after 5. Setting up for the Bommarito Automotive Group 500 this evening. Braden Eves maintaining a 3 tenths of a second advantage on Christian Rasmussen. Going to break himself back into the win column. First victory coming at the very opening race of the year, Barber Motorsports Park. Mentioned how the success here at the Oval at Worldwide Technology Raceway could really spark a stretch run. Eves would like the win. Strong recovery after qualifying 7th for Christian Rasmussen. Has the quickest lap of the race as well. Remember, fuel load's going down. These cars are getting lighter and lighter. They'll likely get quicker and quicker. These Cooper tires on the Indy Pro 2000 cars. Very consistent, very reliable. So they're going to have good grip near the end of this race as well. So that fast lap bonus of 1 point could still be up there. Field pretty evenly matched when you go from what, 6th on back. It's about 6.5 seconds from Nolan Siegel, who's in 5th, back to Manuel Suleiman, but everybody else is right there within a second. Working lap number 45. Braden Eves has led from the get. 44 laps led, pushing hard. Bonus points for most laps led. Just that one yellow flag stopping us early with the contact where Jack William Miller got into the side of Artem Petrov in turn number 1. This driver's ending up in the outside safer barrier. Hunter McElroy all alone right now in 3rd. A little bit quicker actually than Rasmussen last lap. A couple of tenths of a mile per hour. He's far enough back though that he's not going to be able to challenge at this point here. He'd need to really turn up the wick here late in the race. And again, it could happen as the tires start to wear, but it looks to me like the leaders know what they're doing out front. Both these drivers impressive. And again, this really shows you just how much training you get running in the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship. Both these drivers up front here right now, former champions of USF 2000. Of course, Christian Rasmussen, the reigning champion, winning in 2020. Braden Eves winning back in 2019. Hunter McElroy, another example, 2nd place in the championship 2 years ago. .47 laps down, 8 remaining. Braden Eves has been challenged, got close, but he has held this top spot. Eves will roll out of turn number 4. You'll get a good look at the drivers coming out of 4 here. Here's your gap between 1st and 2nd. Braden Eves still holding that position. Leaders heading into 1 and 2 here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. That 11-degree banking, tighter corner, a little downshift from 6th to 5th, back up to 6th, midway down the straightaway. Rasmussen trying to dial things in right now. The gap between 1st and 2nd last time by just under 0.6 of a second, 0.579 between 1st and 2nd. Rasmussen about 4 tenths of a mile per hour quicker. Just that you can get close, but it is so tough with the aero wash you get, losing the air off the front wing. Did Rasmussen hold on to some of those tires? Did he bide his time, take care of the fronts enough to potentially be able to mount a charge here in the late going? It'll be 5 laps to go this time by. Rasmussen across the line, 0.491. Last time by the stripe, this time 0.416. Gained a couple hundredths of a second. Rasmussen closing. McElroy all by himself, P3. Rowe 4th, 5th is Siegel, 6th is Suleiman. This finish will vault James Rowe Jr. closer to Kiffin Simpson, only 3 points back. And in fact, James Rowe Jr. is only, he's gonna be a lot closer to very likely, I wanna say up to potentially, fighting with Jacob Abel and Kiffin Simpson. Some good points here for Rowe. Strong lap there again for Eves. The gap was down to 0.3 of a second, but I think Rasmussen dropping a bit back. 3 laps to go this time by. Drivers onto the front straightaway. Good fight there as we've been watching this between Manuel Suleiman and Jacob Abel. Abel's been putting the pressure on for the last 10 or 15 laps, really, back by maybe 2-3 tenths of a second. Here he is, in fact, side by side, thinking about it. Abel had to look to the bottom of the racetrack. Carl Wash up a little bit on him. You got to watch out for Wyatt Prokacek coming in from behind. Prokacek with a big run down the back straightaway, looking to the inside, thinking about trying to go by Abel. Close enough coming through, but loses a bit there mid-corner. Abel definitely took a bid for the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 1. Trying to get the car to rotate there to get a better run out of the corner. Braden Eves, coming down here. I think we'll see the white flag this time by for Braden Eves. Good fight back here at the very tail of the field, final lap. They're going at it further back there. Enders, I think, going around Prokacek. Eves, though, with the lead by 7/10 of a second. He'll work his way down the back straightaway. You got to watch out for the drivers fighting here in the final circuit in 3 and 4. Eves has got clear racetrack so far. Those drivers separating. Coming down now into turn number 3. Just got to get through 3 and 4, and he'll be back at the top of the box after a win at the start of the season. He'll be victorious here today at Worldwide Technology Raceway, the winner in Indy Pro 2000 for Exclusive Autosport, Braden Eves, with the win over his title rival, Christian Rasmussen. A tremendous drive for Rasmussen. Started in 7th, works his way up to 2nd with a huge opening handful of laps. He definitely limits the damage in terms of the championship. He gets the fast lap as well, bonus point there. Eves with the most laps led. Jacob Abel getting by Manuel Suleiman on the final lap. So Eves with the win, Rasmussen 2nd, Hunter McElroy in 3rd spot, James Rowe Jr. in 4th, Nolan Siegel in 5th, Jacob Abel in 6th, Manuel Suleiman 7th, Reese Gold 8th, Corey Enders 9th, Wyatt Prokacek 10th, and Kiffin Simpson in 11th. Artem Petrov and Jack William Miller, as we know, out after the incident in turn number 1 and 2. Folks, stay with us. We'll have a quick little break. I'll head down to Victory Lane. We'll get to talk to these 3 drivers.
So Braden Eves in Victory Lane, the Domino's Victory Lane area, celebrating a win here today. The Cooper Tires Indy Pro 2000 of St. Louis 55-lap race. Eves with about a 7/10 of a second victory here, and it was a rapid-paced race after the initial yellow flag back on the 8th circuit here today, in a race that took just over 37 minutes to complete. Lots of hugs and high fives all around down in the victory area. Every win big for these young up-and-coming racers on the road to Indy, hoping maybe someday they can be a part of the main event at events like this one here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Braden Eves, the winners. We take a peek at the unofficial results up on the big screen. Christian Rasmussen comes home, as we mentioned, 2nd, just 7/10 behind. Hunter McElroy in 3rd in the 18, and James Rowe 4th. Nolan Siegel rounds out the top 5. Jacob Abel comes home 6th. Here, as you see the rest of the rundown, and all but 2 of the finishers make it to the finish. 11 cars hit the line. Everybody on the lead lap that finished, save our 2 vehicles and drivers that were involved in that nasty-looking incident over in turns 1 and 2, and both Petrov and Miller able to walk away from that one.
Some of our great guests from the Bommarito Automotive Group going to bring our trophies in for our drivers here today in Indy Pro 2000. And all these drivers looking to try to work their way to Indy Lights next year. Hunter McElroy winning at Mid-Ohio, winning at Barber, a couple of victories already. Another solid podium for Hunter. Finishing in second, a couple of really exciting opening laps coming from 7th, working the high side for J. Howard Driver Development, coming P2, Christian Rasmussen. But obviously in a championship chase, anytime you're getting ready to go to the stretch run, you really want to have that momentum, and you can build it here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Scoring the win today, again, Bommarito Automotive Group bringing our trophies in, but scoring the win today, folks, put your hands together for Braden Eves. We'll bring Braden's trophy in here before I get a chance to talk to him. Of course, Braden racing for Exclusive Autosports, second in the points coming in. Crucial for him to get this 45-point victory. Braden, let me come in and have a quick chat with you. Obviously, you know that you're good at this racetrack. The car was strong as well in qualifying, but that was a tough race. You got out front, a great pass early, but a lot of pressure from Christian Rasmussen throughout the race.
Yeah, he was putting pressure on me the whole race. I was just trying to, pick my lines, take the air off his front wing as best I could, and make sure I'm getting a good run out of turn 2. As long as I did that, I figured there was pretty much no way he would get by, and it ended up working out in our favor. Ultimately, fantastic job by the team. Ovals, are massively on the engineer. So credit to John Hayes, a whole Exclusive Autosport crew, Derek Barnes, Andreas for all the prep work in the shop and all the hard work. It feels good after a couple rough weekends for sure.
We're obviously back at New Jersey next Friday. Can you talk about how much this momentum means to you moving into the stretch run?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's I actually did a couple karting races. There was a six-week break, and I was just going back, trying to have some fun and get my mind off the whole championship thing. It's just so much pressure, and I'm done worrying about that. I'm just trying to go out and win every race. So, great race overall.
Braden, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
One more time, folks, a round of applause to my winner today, Braden Eves, for Exclusive Autosport. Crucial victory for him to start this stretch run. And again, we'll get these trophies up in the air. And again, tremendous drive, as we said. Braden Eves right there. Christian Rasmussen pushing very hard after coming from P7. Some amazing passes on the outside early in the run. He gets up to second, limiting the damage in the points that was occurred with the run for Eves. We got some good folks. John Bommarito's going to come in and say hi as well to our top drivers. A tremendous battle, as we said. Some good fighting for sure. We're going to bring a bunch of our Bommarito Automotive Group guests up here to have a chance at a photo op with the drivers here in Indy Pro 2000. These are the racers that you're going to see in the NTT IndyCar Series Bommarito Automotive Group 500 in a couple of years. Pato O'Ward was an Indy Pro 2000 driver. Renus VK, those drivers that have worked their way through the ranks, all coming through this Indy Pro 2000 category. Our second rung, and again, as we said before, the champion winning over $750,000 of scholarship, moving up into the Indy Lights program. Also, an Indy Lights test later this year for the Indy Pro 2000 champion. So as we head into the stretch run, New Jersey Motorsports Park next weekend, October, the first weekend in Mid-Ohio, our finale. We'll still remain and have some time here to celebrate the accomplishments here of Braden Eves, our good friends from the Kids on Track program. Going to come in for a photo op here as well in Victory Lane. Kids on Track get a chance to come out and enjoy a day at the races here, meet some of our drivers. But again, Braden Eves getting out early, a strong move to the inside in turn 3 to take the lead before that yellow flag involving Artem Petrov and Jack William Miller, being told both drivers are okay, and that's fantastic. Release from the infield medical care center. But time to cap things off here, folks. The Champagne getting set to fly. And indeed, they're going at each other in a big way. Champagne flying. Look at Rasmussen not even getting in there. Remaining social distancing, right, Christian? Well done. Folks, that's it. Again, a tremendous drive. Hunter McElroy in third, Christian Rasmussen second. Braden Eves, the winner today here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.